Caleb, I originally saw the little houses on Facebook and I found it fascinating. I think what you're doing is really, really incredible. So how did it start? I know I see tents. So did it start with tents?
It did start with tents. This wasn't any grand plan by any of us here or any one person, any group of us. It's obviously God's plan the way it ended up here. It really just started with one person with a tent that said, hey, can I come put a tent up here? It's a little safer spot than some of the other places where I've camped before. And the elders here said, yeah. Or at least they didn't say no. And they didn't, you can sign a waiver in the city that allows the police to arrest individuals on your property. It basically gives them leeway to do that if they think that they're loitering. We didn't sign that. The elders decided not to sign that. And so it started with one tent, one individual in a tent, and then other people saw that and they said, hey, this would be a good place to camp out. Church eventually started having more of a hand in who stays and who's probably shouldn't be the best person to stay here. We started to get involved in that.
Right, and I see the word sanctuary over here, and so this is the church's property, so they are protected behind the fence.
Yes.
If they're loitering in front of the fence, can they get arrested?
No, I mean, this is still technically church property. Now, if they were in the street causing a problem, then yeah, they can come by and grab them.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a safe place. They're not harassed by the police. They're not really harassed by other homeless people. I've had them tell me they feel free to leave stuff here and not worried about it getting stolen.
And also, too, you want to add on because you have the homes, but I saw your plans inside and the donation, the brick donation, so you want showers and...
We'd like to have showers, so they have and bathrooms. We want 24/7 access to bathrooms. We have porta potties, but you know, nobody wants to use that every day.
And plus winter's coming.
Yeah.
And which leads me to another question. Utilities, running water, electricity, who pays for that? Do they have it?
We have water and electrical coming off of the church. Just, you know, typical exterior water spigot and electrical. And so, yeah, I mean, we pay for it.
So the church pays for
yes.
it? It's not...
We don't charge rent.
Okay, and how long can a resident be in a tiny little home?
It depends on the individual. The tiny homes, we haven't quite set up how we're doing that yet because there's a limited number of them and we have more people staying here than we have little houses at the moment. So we're going to rotate those out maybe on about a 2-month, 3-month basis just to let other people have, you know, the chance to stay in one. As far as staying in the sanctuary, we kind of go by the person. If they're moving forward on a plan of that particular individual, then we're okay with it. And so for somebody that's young, able-bodied, able to get a job, has no problems, then we're going to push them a little harder than somebody that's got some disabilities that can't do so much to get out on their own. So as they're filling out paperwork, they end up on a waiting list, then we're willing to wait with them. We don't put them on a set time necessarily.
Right, very good. Let's take a little tour inside, but while we're going in there, I wanted to ask you about, can we meet one of the residents?
Pete?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
These original 6 houses were built by a group, or they were funded and provided by Jeff Carr with the Infinity Fellowship. It was his brainchild, and he knew that we had this sanctuary here, and he had the vision of a homeless community in tiny houses, and this would be the ideal place to do it in Nashville because we already have kind of a structure here as far as a homeless community. And so he found out about us through various ways, occasional news stories, and he came to us with the idea of funding some houses and building them.
This particular little thing here, it's like a commissary for the homeless?
That was provided by the Nashville Food Project. They come out on every Saturday with a meal around lunchtime. And they work with a lot of other groups in Nashville. So this is kind of a communal area.
Very quiet.
Yes.
Extremely quiet. It feels tranquil. And which home is Pete's?
Pete's in the blue house.
Okay, can we go knock on it?
Sure.
Okay. So I think Pete knows we're coming, so we're not going to invade.
Right. I told him.
Okay. Hello. Hey, Pete. Can you come out?
Yep.
So why don't we step down here? Is this okay? Thank you so much for allowing us into your private space. But I think by talking with you, you can be an inspiration to other people. Can I ask you how you found the tiny little homes and what brought you here?
Well, what brought me here is I was living in Arizona and I just couldn't handle heat no more. And I got here before the flood and went through changes. Finally wound up here at the church in a tent, and then was privileged enough to get one of the houses to live in for a while. Pretty much that's about it.
So it gives you hope and inspiration to take a step from there to here, and then obviously there's got to be another goal in mind. Do you have a particular one?
Well, I'm working with an organization on getting housing. I'm waiting on a voucher right now to move into housing. So right now it's just a waiting game. I'm waiting on things to get all taken care of so I can move.
Right, and obviously nobody enjoys being homeless. I did talk to two gentlemen yesterday that would prefer that, but what would you say to somebody out there that needs help? Where to go? How to get that?
There's organizations around town. You got Ken and Carol's, you got Open Table, you got the church here. What's the other one's name? Park Center. You know, they're all out there, you know, to help people do what they need to do.
And I would think being in your home, it gives you some pride and makes you want to do more. And it's privacy, correct?
Yes, privacy. Yes, and it's, you know, got a real bed in there to, you know, sleep on.
I see it has a ceiling fan. That's important.
Yeah, but we don't have electricity yet. That's what we're waiting on. We don't know if we're going to do generators or run electric or what, you know. But I do have a battery-operated fan in there, which helps.
And you know what's really interesting to me? It's always the people that have no money that want to help people. So if you want to do a plea for someone out there to help bring in what we need to make this a better community, now's your chance.
Well, the thing is, we need things, you know, tents, water, sleeping bags, you know, warm clothing because the winter's coming. Anything would really help.
It's always the people that don't have any means of income that are wanting to help. And obviously, you can only do what you can do.
Yeah, I mean, we're in our community and we're working with our community, and that's about what we're able to do.
So I saw your pledge donation. You can obviously get some money from your community, but this isn't a very rich community, so maybe somebody out there will see this and be willing to donate. But also, in addition, you can only do this in Tennessee. I hope you would encourage others to.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's just, this is our community, and it was not about not backing away from what God would want his church to do in his community. So, I mean, if you're in a community like this as a church, it's just, you can't turn your head to what's around you. You just kind of have to roll your sleeves up and jump in there.
Tiny houses need big hearts and large donations. And one thing that Deacon Caleb wanted me to let you know is that this isn't just him doing this is the church doing this, but they do need your help. Can you help? Will you help? This is Kimberly reminding you, the Global Rescuers isn't just a show, it's a movement. And we'll see you next time.